Amen. Come on. Give God your most passionate praise today. Come on. Your most passionate praise. Good morning. Turn to the person next to you and say good morning. Do you know who is sitting next to you? This morning we are in the third values of what in YM. The third YM values. If you all know, how many of you still remember, we are still on this journey of teaching and learning about the values that we believe that is important for us, that when we put it right, with the right heart, right intention, right motivation, God will truly bless us according to His will. If you have the card with you, okay, can you take out your cards very quickly? Just take out the card that is given. We have printed a lot of those cards. If you do not have those cards on the way out, do ask the ushers to give you. We want every single one of us here to have that card. Okay, if you have it, can you wave it up? Can you wave up your card with you? And we want to just do a quick recap. Okay, we don't have to go through specifically, but we want to learn we want to remember. Sometimes it's good to refresh our memories, right? Okay, what is the first value that we have learned about 1 month ago? What's the first value? God before everything. Last week, what did we learn? To put on passion. Today is honor people. The next one, the fourth one, to play your part. The fifth, plant seeds, bear fruit. Number six, journey together. And lastly, pursue excellence. This morning, we want to look at our third value. Everybody say number 3. The third value that we want to learn in YM is called honor people. Now, honor is a very important topic or subject that we kind of know what it means. But actually, if we further ask ourselves, what does actually honor mean? Sometimes we find it hard to put into words exactly what it means. So today, I hope that we are able to learn together. I'm also learning as I read. And as I teach us today, as we learn together from the Word of God, what does it truly mean to honor people? Let's open up our hearts and let's truly learn what honor really means and how we can put into practice in YM. Okay, honor, the Bible talks a lot about honor. Okay, we know that especially when you have a fight with your parents, for example, what does your parents normally say? Besides, naughty boy, say chai. Besides, what do they say? They will usually, right? My mom used to quote, you must honor your father and mother, If you want to live long, you must honor your father and mother. So, we know that we have to honor our father and mother because they are our parents. They are the first authority figure that God has placed in our lives. We also learn that we have to honor and respect our leaders, our government, the authorities. And the Bible actually teaches a lot about honor today. But I want us to learn from a place that what does it really mean to honor people? Turn to the person next to you and say, honor people. See, there's a difference between honor and respect. A lot of times, we tend to get it mixed up. Honor and respect. I honor you means I respect you lah. I respect you means I honor you lah. Right? We tend to get it mixed up. But I want to suggest to us today that actually honor and respect is actually two very different concepts. Respect is something that I earn. Respect is earned. For example, if I want to gain your respect, I want to earn your respect, what must I do? I must do something that is respectable, right? For example, if you say, Josh, can you pick me up for CG this Friday? I'll say, sure. 7 o'clock, I will be in front of your house. Then what happens is, if I'm there at 7 o'clock and pick you up for CG, what have I done? I have just earned your respect. You respect your time. You've earned it. I can trust you. But honor is different. Respect is earned. Honor is given. We give honor regardless. You don't earn, we don't have to let our parents do something for us to earn our honor for them. Honor is given regardless. There is no condition to honor. And we need to learn today and understand, what does it really mean to honor people? You see, the word honor comes from the word timi. Everybody says timi. Come on, everybody say timi. It's a Greek word. Now you just learn a Greek word. Okay, don't you sound a little bit more smarter now? When you go home and your mom and dad ask you, what do you learn in YM today? You can say timi. And then they'll think, wow, I learned Greek in church. The word timi simply means to value, to put worth, to place a sense of worth on something or on someone. And today we want to look at 13, Romans chapter 13 verse, Romans chapter 12. If you have a Bibles with you, let's look at Romans chapter 12 verse 9. Okay? If you have a Bibles, you all should bring your Bibles. If not, it's on the screen as well, but don't rely on the screen. Rely on your own Bible if you have. Okay? And we want to read from the New Living Translation. If you have the New Living Translation, we can read together. Okay? It's also on the screen. It says this: don't just pretend that you love others. Really love them. Hate what is wrong. Stand on the side of the good. Verse 10, love each other with genuine affection and take delight in honoring each other. Never be lazy in your work, but serve the Lord enthusiastically. Verse 12, be glad for all God is planning for you. Be patient in trouble. Always be prayerful. When God's children are in need, be the one to able to help them. And get into the habit of inviting guests home for dinner, or if they need lodging for the night. I want to read for us in the NIV version as well. Okay, it's not on the screen, but I'll just read for you. It says this: love must be sincere. Hate what is evil, cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. Never be lacking in zeal, which also means passion, okay? What we learned last week. Never be lacking in passion, but keep your spiritual fervor. Also another word for passion, fervor. Serving the Lord. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Share with the Lord's people who are in need. Practice hospitality. My first point today in what honor means is this: to honor is to love. Everybody say this with me. To honor is to love. Come on, say it with a bit more passion. To honor is to love. You see, love has a lot of aspects to it. We know that the love of God, which we've heard before, is called agape, right? The agape love, which is the unconditional, never changing, always the same love that God has for His people. That is the agape love. Then there is the eros love, okay, which is the love between husband and a wife. It's the romantic kind of love, okay? Then there is the third one is the philia love, which is the love between brothers and sisters, the brotherly love. Okay? And this is exactly what Paul is trying to say. Paul is not saying that love one another means we have to have the eros love, go and have romantic love for everybody. No. He's not saying that. He's saying to have, he can't be saying, he's not saying to have the agape love, because agape is only for God. It's only God's love for the people. We cannot have agape love. We cannot give agape love. But what Paul is trying to tell us is philia, which is the love for brothers and sisters. The sibling is the brotherly affection that we have for one another. And what does it mean for us? You see, everything stems from love. If we have no love, everything that we do is meaningless. A church cannot exist without love. YM cannot exist if there's no love. FGA cannot exist if there's no love. The Antioch Church Vision cannot exist if there's no love. See, everything centers around love. It comes from love. See, love is the central thing. And I would like to suggest this to us, that we can never truly honor someone if you don't have the love for that someone. We cannot truly honor people if we do not have love for people. We cannot. We will find it very difficult to honor someone if we do not truly love them for who they are. And I'm not saying that kind of love that you have to, lovey-dovey, fall in love with you. No. but it's the genuine brother love. If you have a brother and sister, you will know that if your brother is in trouble, my brother once called me, just got in an accident one time. You know what I did? I dropped everything that I had to do, I dropped everything because I rushed there at 12 o'clock. I don't know what he's doing out at 12 o'clock. But I rushed to where he was. Is that something that took over, It's that love that Paul is trying to tell us today. And he also gave us an insight of what love or how we're supposed to love one another. You see, unfortunately, society has seemed to be promoting hate more than love. Seems to be promoting unkindness more than kindness. We see it on social media, we see it on TV, we see it on the movies, we see it on Netflix. It's cool to be cynical. If you're not gossiping, you can't join the gang. It's cool, acceptable to be snarky and sarcastic to one another. If I don't make fun of you, it means we're not true friends, If I can't make fun of you, or you don't allow me to make fun of you, right? Then we don't have that kamching, So, you see, that is what we've always been learning. That good friends must make fun of one another. Cannot, don't want. If I don't, it means we're not true friends. See, and society has encouraged, or rather influenced us, that if you don't gossip, if you don't make fun of one another, if you don't spread rumors about one another, then you're not cool. You can't join my gang. And we see it all over in the movies. That's how they portray friendship. That's how they portray relationship. But I want to say to us today, that is not the kind of that's not the way that God intends us to live. Yes, there's a time where we joke with one another, make fun of one another. Yeah, that's all great. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the heart. It comes down to your heart. And this is how we know. You see, the idea of honor has become so foreign. That's so foreign, so much so that we get mixed up between respect. I respect you, I honor you. But they're actually two different things. They're actually two different things. And in verse 9, when we just read, it says, don't just pretend to love one another, You know what's pretending, Pretending means I do something, but actually I don't mean it. I can be pretending, how some, I don't know, maybe you all don't do it, you all don't do. How at work sometimes, you pretend to do work, LLB, look like you're busy. You pretend to do work, but then actually you're not doing work well. Okay, maybe you all cannot relate, it's just me. You purposely put on your Excel sheet or Microsoft Word, pretending that you're typing something, but actually you're not doing anything. That's pretending. But Paul is saying, don't pretend. Don't pretend to love one another. Don't just simply ask one another, how are you doing? But actually deep down inside, you don't really care how are you doing. Until the person starts pouring his heart, sharing his heart to you, sharing her heart to you, and then in your heart you're thinking, oh my goodness, I did not ask for this. I just asked how are you because I thought it would be nice and courteous. But then now here you are sharing your heart to me, but actually deep down inside, I don't really want to know how you are. I just asked because I asked for the sake of asking. Now that's pretending. That is pretending. Showing that I love you, but actually, deep down inside my heart, I don't. And Paul warns us, don't pretend to love one another. Don't be a pretend to one. In some translation, it says, don't be a hypocrite. Hypocrite means I say something else, but I do something else. Or I do something else, but I mean something else. Paul says, don't love one another like that. We must love one another with a sincere heart. We read in the NIV, it says sincere love. Sincere means what? Genuine. Original. No fake, not fake. Not even look like real. But it's original. A genuine gift would be what? If I have a birthday, if I'm going to your birthday tomorrow, and I would genuinely want to give you a gift, what would I have done? I would have thought about it. No need to pray, but think about it. What gift would this person like? right? And then I will go out of my way, even though if it's troublesome, doesn't matter, I'll go out of my way to buy that gift because it's a sincere, it comes from my heart. I want to give you what I feel, I know that it's from my heart. Not a gift that you find in your wardrobe, hide underneath all your pile of clothes, and this t-shirt never wear before. I received last Christmas, but never wear before. Still in the wrapper, very good. Okay lah, never mind lah. I give that person, I wrap it up, and then I give. Is that sincere or not? Surely it's not, right? So a sincere love would come from the heart. It has to come from the heart. That is what Paul is saying. When you love someone, love from the heart. Love from the heart. Don't just pretend. Don't just say that you love me, but then actually you don't do. Because why? Words are very cheap, right? It's very easy to say, I love you. But when it comes to action, it's a whole different thing altogether. So when we say we want to honor people, we have to love. Because honor starts, the reason why I can honor you is because it begins from God. It comes from God. I honor God. It's always me and God. My relationship with God first. My relationship with people is second. See, if you don't have the love of God in your heart, you will find it very hard to love people. It's only when we have the love of God in our heart, God will grow in us a love for His people. It's that flow, Human strength cannot love people on our own. We will find it very hard. But as we develop and honor God, develop our relationship with God, God will in return grow a love in us that flows from our heart for His people. That is what it means when we honor people. That's why we always begin God before everything. Put God first before everything. Honor God before everything. If you cannot honor God, you'll find it very hard to honor people. Because God is love. And love comes from God. And so that is what I believe what God is trying to say to us today. See, a love that puts the needs of others above yourself. Imagine what would the world be like if everybody put the needs of the person next to them ahead of theirs. Can you imagine what society would look like? What would lining up for a boba tea look like? If everybody say, you go first, I waited here 1 hour already. It's okay, you go first. You go first. You go first. What would Kesas Highway look like if everybody says, it's okay, beep, beep, you go lah, stop, okay, signal left, you go. What would society look like if we put the needs of the person next to us above our own? What would YM look like if every one of us here seek to appreciate one another rather than to seek to be appreciated? What would YM look like if every one of us here seek to give honor rather than to receive honor? Because it says here, you honor one another above yourself. Love one another above yourself. It means you put others before yourself. So to honor is to love. The love that is only comes from God. See, our philia love is an outward expression of our agape love that we receive from God. The philia love that we have for one another, that Paul is describing, comes from the agape love that we receive, the unconditional love from God. If we don't have that unconditional love from God, we will find it very hard to have that philia love for people. So we must have the love of God in our hearts. Secondly, very quickly, to honor is to value. Everybody say, to honor is to value. Come on, say with a bit more passion. To honor is to value. See, to value means to put a sense of worth or a price on something. Worth lah, to worth. For example, right? You go to China, you buy a red leather bag. A red leather bag, and then it's probably cost you $5 to make. Ship it over to the US. Ask one guy to stick a sticker called and put the words SUPREME on it, what happens to the value of that bag? You all know, right? You all know about this brand called Supreme? A brick, a brick, red color. The word Supreme costs 5,000. Anyway, see, immediately what happens? The value of that bag changes because of the brand that is put on it. And typically, if something that is expensive or something that is very valuable to you, what do? You would take care of it. If it's a new shoe that you receive, very valuable, you save a lot of money, you skip a lot of lunch just to buy that pair of shoes, you will surely take good care of it, right? You won't purposely go and wear it out to the mamak store. You won't flex it in the pasar malam, right? You will surely make sure you take care of it, wash it, clean it, protect it, do all sorts of things just to keep it in that good condition. Because it is important to you. In the same way, if Paul is saying this to us, to value people, to put people on with high value, Paul, in a sense, what Paul is trying to say, in other words, is this, that we are to place a sense of importance on people. If people have high value, just like your expensive shoes, your expensive car, it's important to you, right? Then in the same way, we are to treat people the way you treat your expensive things that you just bought, because it's valuable to you. We are to treat people with high importance, because that's the value that they possess in their heart. And the question that we need to ask ourselves this morning is this: if Paul says that people are important, right, or people are valuable, turn to the person next to you. Choose, right or left, doesn't matter. Turn to the person next to you and ask them, what makes you so important? What makes you so important? Because that's a question we have to ask, right? If Paul says you to value people, to place an importance on people, to place a high value on people, then the question we ask is, for what? What makes them so important? What makes you so important? See, the importance and the value comes from this. It comes from Genesis, when the Bible says that we are all created in the image of God. We are all created in the image of God, That's the value that we carry, The image of God. And God says, when I created man, the Bible says that God was pleased. That means He was happy with what He created. He did not say, I accidentally created this creature. Don't like him or her. Eyes are too small. What is this? God was not like that. God was happy. He was actually pleased with whatever He's created. So if that is the value that we carry, that means when you look at the person next to you now, can you look at the person next to you? Look at him or her in the eye. You're not just looking at a pretty face. You're not just looking at smooth complexion, beautiful eyebrows, nice makeup that they just did this morning. You're not just looking at that. You're looking at the very image that God has stamped Himself on. Then turn to the person next to you and say, I didn't know you're so important. See, that is the value that you and I carry, And if we place such a high importance on people, then we are supposed to take care, protect, take care of one another because they are important. And that's why I want to say this, that we cannot look at one another and begin to objectify them. Guys, we cannot look at girls and start telling each other, wow, that one, sexy, huh? Hot is she? Pretty or not? Like or not? What do you think, huh? See, we laugh about it. But actually what you're doing is you're actually defining that person's value based on the very limited vocabulary words that we have in a dictionary. When we begin to do that, we are actually reducing the value that God has created. Yes, it may be a good thing. Some of you may think sexy is a compliment, what? But it's still a reduced value of the intended purpose that God has given to them in the first place. So it's the same. When we begin to look at the opposite gender, when we watch pornography, it's the same thing. We are actually reducing the very value that God has placed on that certain person. Not just towards the girls, but guys, we're all the same. If you reduce the value of a person, you're actually reducing the value of the one who created that person. Because the world is always promoting this, right? Unfortunately, the world is promoting that women are just object for pleasure, for sex. We begin to learn from the world that this women are you just use women like that. We see in the movies, don't need to watch in pornography, like you see in the movies, so it's there already. But I want us to learn this, that actually when you do that, you're actually dishonoring that person. And you may think, I'm not hurting anyone. I'm just doing it in my heart. But you don't know that you're actually hurting the only person that matters the most to you, which is God Himself. You're actually dishonoring and reducing the very value that God has intended, that placed in that person in the first place. So let us not dishonor people like that. Let us not dishonor people by reducing the very value that God has given to them in the first place. We must value everybody. In YM, we know, some of you may have seen, there is a group of youth that comes for our Sunday service every week. They're called the Promise Youth. They're basically the kids with special needs. They talk differently than us. They behave differently. Some of them may look different. But the Bible says that we are to honor them as well. You must treat them the way you treat one another. Not in partiality, not in differences. Because the reality is this, how many of you, ask yourselves, I'm not here to judge, but ask yourself, how many of you actually went up to them and shake their hand and asked them what is their name? How many of you have actually gone to them and say, how are you doing? Sincerely? How are you feeling today? Are you happy to be in YM? Something for us to think about. If we are here and God is calling us to honor people, that means includes them as well. They are people too, right? There's no condition in honor. There is no condition in honor. Everybody must be honored. We must honor everyone. So let us not reduce. Let us not reduce the value of people, even if they offend us. Even if they hurt us. Even if they are different than us. Even if their background is not the same as us. God is calling YM. We honor people. There's no condition. There is no condition. Turn to the person next to you and say, honor people. Come on, say with more passion, honor people. Lastly, and quickly, to honor is to give. In the NASB, the New American Standard Bible version, it says to give preference to one another. Simply means I put others before me and I put it in front. In front means what? In front means I'm ready to give, right? I'm ready to give. Unless it's a surprise you put behind. But in front, I'm ready to give. And the Greek word for let me see very quickly. Let's go. Okay, it means to show or to give or to show honor to one another. In some translations, it says to show preference. If you read, I'm not sure which version, but you can go and read. It says show preference. Now the word show in Greek simply means this, to prove. Everybody says to prove. To prove. Come on, say it with me with more passion. To prove. To prove means there must be an evidence. If you watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, don't watch. All the detective shows, if I want to prove something, I must have an evidence to prove it. Evidence means I must show lah. I must show you. Simply put, if I can paraphrase everything for us to understand, and for us to take back is this. Don't just say to one another that I honor them. Don't just say, I honor you, Rachel. But I show it. I show it. Be it in my words, be it in the things I do for her, be it in the thoughts that I think about her. I show it with evidence. The evidence of my honor for you must be seen through my actions. That is the evidence that we must always be prepared to give. Evidence can also mean the way we carry our lives, the testimony that we carry. That's the evidence. Because cannot be, I honor you in church, wow, I'm so, so good, so nice to one another, but then I go out to school, suddenly I'm a monster. It must be evidence, ma. There must be evidence. You see? So, Paul is saying, prove to one another that you value them. Prove it. Prove it. Like how sometimes you say, you say you can jump that far. Prove it, show. Same thing. If you say you honor me, prove it. If I ask you to honor that person and you say yes, then we must show. Prove to one another that you honor them. Because saying is one thing. Saying it is very easy, but actually doing it is a different thing altogether. And Paul is trying to teach us today to prove to one another, show what's your evidence of your honor for them. And giving honor can be as simple as this. Can be as simple as saying thank you. It can be as simple as just saying thank you, When was the last time you said thank you to your mom? When was the last time you said thank you to your dad? When was the last time you said thank you to your teacher? Thank you, teacher, for giving me homework. When was the last time you actually said thank you to your boss? When was the last time you actually said thank you to one another? When was the last time you said thank you to your pastors? To your leaders who care for you? When was the last time you said thank you to your members? Thank you for accepting me as your leader. Thank you. It can be as simple as that. See, we are called to not honor people, or people means people above us, people alongside us, and people below us. Above us are people who with authority, your parents. We are called to honor our parents. That means don't be rude to them. Don't answer back to your parents. Sometimes your parents may be unreasonable, I do not know. But God is asking us, don't be rude to them. Don't answer back. Don't fight with them. Don't roll your eyes at them. You may not like it. It's fine. But choose honor. Honor your parents, guys and girls. If we don't learn to honor our parents when we still have them, trust me, when you become a parent on your own, and Pastor Arnold always said this, you reap what you sow. If you sow dishonor now, you reap dishonor in the future. Always choose to sow honor. The authorities and figures in our school, in our uni, in our work, God is calling, honor your teacher. Even though you don't like him or her, always pick on you, always bully you, always seem to be so hard on you. The Bible says, honor. Your boss, honor. As irritating as your boss may be, honor. Our government, we honor. It means we don't have to do anything. How can we choose to honor them? Honor the government, honor the decisions that they make. It may not be favorable. Yeah, but can we honor or not? Can we honor or not? Our pastors and leaders, God is calling us to honor them as well. That means we don't say bad things about our pastors. We don't say bad things about our leaders. We don't create a secret WhatsApp group, everybody get into the group, and then start talking bad about how hurt you are and start sharing. Everybody share how much I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like this church, I don't like that church, I don't like what the leader did to me, I don't like what the pastor did to me. That is not honoring, guys. Are they perfect? Of course not. Will they make mistakes? Of course they will. But we are not called to pinpoint their mistakes and put it on display. Put it on social media, put it on Facebook and say, this is what this church did, this is what I experienced in this church. When we honor, we protect. If we say we honor our leaders, we protect our leaders. If we say we honor our pastors, that means we protect them. We protect. If we say we honor FGA, we protect FGA. What does it mean? That means we don't allow people to say bad things about us. We're not perfect. Of course, we're not perfect. But we protect. We guard. We guard our pastors. We guard our leaders. Not asking you to go into an argument of which church is better, no, but we guard them. We guard it. You get what I'm trying to say? So when we honor, we protect what we honor. So let us not talk bad about the church, talk bad about YM, talk bad about the leaders, about the pastors. It's not honorable at all. It's not. We have to always learn to see that every time we are being corrected, not just in church but at home, every time we are being corrected by our parents, we always have to know that they are always coming from a place of love. They love me, therefore they did that for me. They love me, therefore they did that. They do that for me. I may not like it. It may not be my preference. Every time I have to do certain things for at home or come to church, my leaders, my pastors always ask me to do certain things. I may not like it, but it doesn't matter. Yes, you may not like. I'm not saying that we cannot have an opinion. I'm not saying that we cannot give suggestions. We can. There is a place, a bright place for that. But at the beginning first, I need us to check our hearts. Where is our heart? Are we coming from a place of envy, of bitterness or hurt? Or are we coming from a place of love? We need to check our hearts. To honor people alongside us, it means to honor one another here. How are you treating one another? When you go for meetings, for example, honoring one another simply means I come on time. I don't want to dishonor you by wasting your time. Therefore, I come on time. I come prepared. That's what it means to honor one another. I come prepared for the meeting. I come prepared for the service. I come prepared to give in CG, to contribute. When you have work in your work assignments or in projects, you know that when you are going to a group, honoring one another simply means I give my best in this group. I give my best opinion to move forward. That's what it means to honor one another in how we treat each other. And lastly, to honor people below us, your younger siblings, your members, for those of us who are leaders here. We honor them. How? By giving them the best. By giving them the best. By setting them up for success. There's nothing that makes me more happier than to see my own spiritual children grow up to be who God has called them to be. There's nothing that makes me even more happy to see my brother, my younger brother, excel in his spiritual walk with God. That means I don't withhold anything from them, I don't withhold anything from him, What I have, I give. You use it to what you have, I give. I'm not withholding anything. And leaders, that's how we are supposed to love our members. We give them everything. Because we want to set them up for success. Not to withhold something and say, no, I don't want him to be, be more spiritual than me or to be more successful than me. No. But we give the best. That's how we honor our members. That's how we honor the people beneath us. Withholding honor is actually dishonoring. And when God calls us to honor people, it's not that people are honorable, is because we are honorable. We honor people not because of what they are, or who they are, or what they've done for us, or what they will do for us. But we honor people because we are honorable. And so, respect is earned, but honor is given. Let our honor come out from how we treat one another today. Let our honor come out in how we speak to one another. Let our honor come out in how we treat one another, how we love one another, how we talk to one another, how we hang out with one another. Let honor come out from how we live our lives. Let honor come out. You know, as I was preparing to teach this value to us, I was just reflecting on myself and asked God, what is it that you have brought me or journeyed with me in my life about this thing about honoring people? And I'm about to come to a close already. And as I begin to pray and reflect in my own preparation with God, God brought me to back many years back in my life. You know, when some of you, you know, I grew up in YC, now YM, right? And for the longest time, I've been working together with Pastor Anand. Okay, you all know Pastor Anand. He's been here longer. I think he's the longest YM serving member in this place. I'm not sure if I'm second, but actually Ben is second. Okay, but for the longest time, I've been walking with Pastor Anand. He's been journeying with me throughout my life. Back when I lacked maturity, lacked knowledge, and lacked in height. Okay, he was there throughout the time. Back when I was single, he was there. Back when I was desperate to have a girlfriend, he was there. And if you know me and you know Pastor Anand, our personalities are very different. Most of the time, we will rub each other off in the wrong way. Sometimes he will get upset. He used the word trigger. You provoke me, and then and so our relationship was always like that. But as I begin to take on more leadership role, I had the opportunity to actually lead the worship team that is now today. And as I began to take on this responsibility in my heart, I thought to myself, okay, I'm in charge now. This is what I want to do. So I list out all my plans. I thought, okay, this is what we're going to do. Okay, you're going to do this, you're going to play this, we're going to do that. This is how we're going to sing, this is how we're going to do everything. I made the whole arrangement. And then after that, as I begin to lead the team, oftentimes I would find myself, Pastor Anand would come up to me and say, Josh, why is the worship today like that? You know, of course he does not say that, he says something else, okay, which I cannot say over the mic. He will say, why is this worship like that? Why is it so like that? The dynamic is not good enough, the song arrangement not good enough, the key is wrong, you all don't know how to play, this or that. And he would tell me, And at the time, if those of you who are, if you do creative work like me, if you draw something, for example, do you like somebody else to comment, I don't like this color that you use, I don't like this drawing, do you like that? You don't like, right? So, I felt that same way. In my heart, I'm thinking, walao. And I tell God, like that one, And then, the best thing about talking to God is you can tell God everything without filter. Right? So I told God, why is he doing that? Why is Pastor Anand doing that? Telling me about song choice, telling me about choosing the right key, telling me about song dynamic, telling me about singing properly. And I'm thinking to myself, I tell God, he can't even sing properly, He can't even sing and he's telling me how to sing, I'm not kidding, this is real. And so, now you saw what happened just now. Okay, so as I was just processing with God, I told God, I said, God, how can it be like that? How can it be like that? And I began to form resentment, bitterness, hurt. Because I thought to myself, who are you to tell me what to do? I mean, if you are a professional singer and tell me how to sing, okay I will accept But what I did not know was I actually developed pride in my heart. And that pride turned into dishonor. I did not honor him for who God has called him called Him to be in my life. I did not honor. I began to have ill feelings towards Him. I began to have bitterness towards Him. I began to have all these kind of negative perceptions about Him. But what I did not know, which is the worst of all, that it actually stunted my spiritual growth. It actually stopped me. Or rather, it actually did not allow me, or did not allow God to grow me even further, because I had this dishonor in my heart. None of these things I told Him, It's in here. It's in here. See, you don't have to dishonor people to tell them that you dishonor them. Dishonor starts here. It starts here. And so, I did not know that, but I was actually dishonoring Him. And then when I begin to realize and find out that actually, God, there's no fruit in whatever I do. I try, but nothing seems to work. Until I came to that realization that I actually had dishonor in me, and dishonor was preventing God from using me to grow even further. At that very moment, I told God, I want to repent. I don't want to I choose to honor. As irrational as Pastor Anand may be sometimes, I choose to honor. As unreasonable as he may be sometimes his requests really, if you don't know, I don't know. But I choose to honor. I submit. Okay, if that's what you feel we should do, okay. I don't answer back. I don't think negatively towards him. I just, okay. That does not mean there's no room for discussion, But where is my heart? Where is my heart? And as I begin to lower myself down, see, the Bible says that God opposes the proud, but He lifts the humble. And I begin to lower myself down in humility, in submission, in honoring Him. I begin to see the hand of God move in my life. And God began to lift me up to now places that I've never imagined me doing. Never. But I believe it's because I choose to honor the very spiritual figure that God has put in my life. See, I honor God by honoring Pastor Anand. I don't honor him just because of anything, but I honor God by honoring Pastor Anand. You honor God by honoring your parents. You honor God by honoring one another. See, it starts from here, the heart. And I want to suggest for us here that the more you choose to honor, the more you will find yourself submitting to God's plan. The more I choose to honor, sometimes it's very difficult. Actually, all the time it's very difficult. But can you still choose to honor? Can you still choose to honor? Even when it's unreasonable, even when it's difficult, can you still choose to honor? Because that is what God is calling us to do. We honor people. No condition. No preference. No strings attached. We honor because it is the right thing to do. And when you do the right thing, God will bring you to the right places. He will lift you up in the right time. And He will set you up at the right places that you're supposed to be. It starts with us honoring people. We honor God by honoring people. See, we honor people not because they are honorable. I said this before and I'll say it again. We honor people because we are honorable. It's regardless of what people do to us, we still honor. But you say, but Josh, he just hurt me. He just broke my heart. He just offended me. Yes, still honor them. But he's so annoying. He keeps on disturbing me. He keeps on bullying me. Yeah, God says, you honor that person. Regardless what? It's regardless. There's no condition to our honor. See, when we learn to love and honor God and put Him before everything, which is our first value, God will grow in us the ability to love others and honor others. It starts with having that honor for God. If you don't honor God, you'll find it very hard to honor people. And if you honor people, you are indirectly honoring God, because we honor God by honoring people. As we come to a close today, I want us all to stand, and how we are going to do this is, I'm not going to... Sometimes whenever we do altar call, we always, like to be emo and like to be, feeling that emo vibe, emo atmosphere. But we're not going to do that today. How we are going to do this is we are going to respond together as a family. Okay, we are going to respond together as a family. So very quickly, if I can get us here together in your zones. Okay, I know, don't worry, we have time. Okay, if we can quickly just gather in your zones today. Can we do that very quickly? Can I have that zone, team, can I have that zone, the thing? Okay? Is it up? Right. Can we quickly just gather in this? I will end very soon. Zone leaders, can you please help me out as well? Okay, just quickly go, just move into your zone. The service is not over yet. The service is not over yet. Okay, you just gather into your zones very quickly. Okay, we're going to do this in a very orderly fashion. Okay, zone leaders, if you can just raise your hands to identify so that your members can help you, can see you. Okay, so anywhere in the hall is fine. Anywhere in the hall is fine, as long as you are within the hall. Gospel music, is it? Okay, quickly, can we just quickly move? New friends, you can just follow the friend that brought you today. It's fine. Okay, dispatch. Okay, let's quickly. I know we are a bit short of time, but let us try to move as quickly as we can. Okay. Now, when you're in your groups already, this is what we are going to do. We are going to respond together in honor. Okay, and how we are going to do this is very simple. Okay, I want you to say to one another, everybody one by one, these three things. Okay, are you listening? Okay, these three things. Okay, you say this to one another. I honor you. Everybody say, I honor you.
I honor you.
I value you.
I value you.
And I accept you.
And I accept
Let's say that again. I honor you.
I honor you.
I value you.
I value you.
And I accept you.
I accept.
Now, the band is just going to play and it's going to minister to us, but I want all of us to say that to one another. I honor you, I value you, and I accept you. Can we do that? And then just high five one another, give each other a hug, and after that, we are going to just end it like that. Can we do that? Okay? 1, 2, 3, go. Go one by one. Go one by one and tell them, I honor you. Don't have to wait for one another. I honor you, I value you, and I accept you. Come on, keep it going. Keep it going. I honor you. I value you. I accept you.
This family of God, so closely knitted into one.
Make sure everybody is included. Alright, can I have your attention here, please? Okay. Now, I hope that whatever that you have done just now, don't just stop here. Let us continue to honor one another in our words. Honor one another by accepting them, hugging them, high-five them. Okay? So let us honor one another through our actions, our words, the way we think about one another, and ultimately, let's honor people in our hearts today. Okay? Come on a count of three, let's give God our biggest, most passionate praise. 1, 2, 3, come on!